got it.
All right, Shalom.
Shalom.
First and foremost, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash.
I want to give double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone that rule well, and peace and salutations to the elect of Israel. To you, we say Shalom. All right, Lord willing, this lesson is edifying to the flock of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai. And, through the Spirit, I just want to touch on a quick topic real quick about, because Jake going through it right now. We've been put on the bottom of society. We live in the poorest conditions. We eat the worst of foods. Jake got it fucked up out here, but this pain is only temporary because we're gonna reign soon too. So Lord willing, the lesson is edifying to the flock of Yahweh Shem Yahushai.
You want me to open up with something?
Deuteronomy 28, basically 15.
Got you.
Because this is the Lord just kept His end of the promise. He said if we don't serve Him, He's gonna fuck us up. And as a nation, He did fuck us up. All right. So if you're in a fucked up position as a Jake, you understand that the Lord keeps His word. So He's gonna basically keep His word and put us in the greatest position ever known, man. That we can't even imagine.
Deuteronomy 28 and 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy power, to observe to do all His commandments and His statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
You can jump down to 43, Baba Kasha.
Deuteronomy 28 and 43. The stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low. You want me to keep reading?
Yep, Baba Kasha. You can start at 44.
I got you. Verse 44. He shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him. He shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail.
Yeah, and this is exactly where we are as a nation, man. We're in the bottom of society. All these other nations are above us. Even in Jake neighborhoods, all the businesses in Jake neighborhoods are owned by other nations besides Jake. Why is that? Because he shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him. He's going to be the head, you're going to be the tail. Scripture also talks about how we're going to be in want of all things to our enemies, man. And it's because, we went off, all right? But, I'm just saying that the pain is justified and the pain was promised. This punishment was promised. So the promise is also promised too at the end of the day.
I got a quick precept. This is Matthew 19, and I'll start actually at, you want me to start a little further up or just straight to the point?
27.
All right, Matthew 19 and 27. Then answered
yeah.
What, 27?
Yeah, 27.
Okay, Matthew 19 and 27. Then answered Peter and said unto him, Behold, we have forsaken all and followed thee. What shall we have therefore? And even that scripture alone goes to show you that we're going through it as a nation, Yasharallah. Beginning with the hopeful elect. Lord willing, we be of that number because, Peter said, we have forsaken all. We don't have much in this life as is, but like the Apostle Paul said, if we only have hope in Yahushua in this life only, we are of all men most miserable, man. Because the ones that are truly going through it the most is the elect. You know what I'm saying? But the beauty of it is we have the spirit of Yahushua that gives us comfort and hope and expectation, and it says, and as a nation, the nation of Israel is going through it the most out of all these other nations, man. Okay, scriptures say no nation has gone under heaven has gone through what has been done unto Jerusalem. It says, verse 28, and Yahushua said unto them, Verily I say unto you, that ye which have followed me in the regeneration, when the Son of Man shall sit in the throne of his glory, ye also shall sit upon 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel. So Yahushua said, look, when he's in his glory, we're going to be joint heirs with him. Lord willing, we be of that number. It says, if so be that we suffer with him, that we may reign with him also, roughly paraphrasing, So this is a part of us going through the sufferings. Verse 29, and everyone that hath forsaken houses or brethren or sisters or father, spirit, or mother, or wife, or children, or lands, for my name's sake, shall receive an hundredfold, and shall inherit everlasting life, man. Call Layim La Yabashim Shai. So all the stuff that we're forsaken on the side, man, is truly worth it. Because first and foremost, this is our true family. You know what I'm saying? But there's some brothers who have good relationships with their family members. There's some brothers who don't. But at the end of the day, being willing to forsake everything in this present life and count it all dung that we may win Mashiach, man. This is what's going to get us rewarded.
Yep.
Shalakia. All right. I'll keep reading. Verse 30, here's the point. Matthew 19 and 30. But many that are first shall be last, and the last shall be first.
Yo, which lines up with Deuteronomy 28, how we were made to tell. So we're last. We're literally in last place. If you look at all the like societal statistics about not even like cost of living and ways of life, Jake is in the bottom of everything, right? Right? The worst schools, the worst health. Jake is in the bottom. Heart disease is the number one killer in Babylon. That's mostly Jake dying of that because of the foods and the shit we eat, all right? But we're not gonna have that defiled shit in the kingdom, man.
I got a precept. This is Baruch chapter 2, starting at verse 26. It says, "And the house which is called by thy name hast thou laid waste, as it is to be seen this day, for the wickedness of the house of Israel and the house of Judah." And this is talking about the temple. You know, the Lord destroyed the temple through the heathen because of the evil of Israel, you know. And so now the Lord's rebuilding back that third temple through his elect. We make up the, Lord willing, we be of that elect number. We make up the building blocks of the third temple, okay? It says, "O Lord, our power, thou hast dealt with us after all thy goodness and according to all that great mercy of thine, as thou speakest by thy servant Moses in the day when thou didst command him to write thy law before the children of Israel, saying, if you will not hear my voice, surely this very great multitude shall be turned into a small number among the nations where I will scatter them. For I knew that they would not hear me, because it is a stiff-necked people. But in the land of their captivities, they shall remember themselves." Right, so in the land of our captivities, we're remembering ourselves, man. I'll read that again, Baruch 2 and 30. "For I knew that they would not hear me, because it is a stiff-necked people. But in the land of their captivities, they shall remember themselves." So this is the beginning process of us going from the pain to the rain.
Yep.
It all starts with us remembering ourselves, acknowledging our offenses of our forefathers, man, and repenting and coming back to Yahweh Shem Shai in truth and sincerity. Okay? It says, and shall know that I am the Lord, Yahweh Shem Shai, their power, for I will give them an heart and ears to hear, and they shall praise me in the land of their captivity, and think upon my name. And this scripture is being fulfilled right now before your eyes. Okay, because here we are, we're in the land of America, which is the land of our captivity, and the other Israelites scattered abroad throughout the four corners of the earth. Majority of our people are not in the land of Israel right now, man. Okay, which is our native land, you know. But we are remembering ourselves and our heritage in the lands of our captivities. That goes to show you the power of the Lord. It says, "And return from their stiff neck and from their wicked deeds, for they shall remember the way of their fathers, which sinned before the Lord. And I will bring them again into the land which I promised with an oath unto their fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And they shall be lords of it." Meaning we're going to be reigning. Okay? That's what that's saying. We're going to be lords over it. We're going to be reigning over the land. "And I will increase them, and they shall not be diminished. And I will make an everlasting covenant with them to be their power, and they shall be my people. And I will no more drive my people of Israel out of the land that I have given them." Call him by Shema Shai.
All right, let me get one quick precept real quick. This is the book of Romans, chapter 8, verse 18. "For I reckon that the sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory which shall be revealed in us." All right, because the kingdom is going to be so great that any suffering that we go through is going to be worth it. It's going to be like, yo, you know, I'll do it again for all this glory, man. All this, no more wickedness, no more, no more abominations walking the earth. No more captivity at the end of the day, man. All right, to be in rulership, joint heirs with Yahweh Shai, man. Well, who wants to, if that's promised for you, like, why would you want anything? What more could you ever want, man? More than anything. Because there's nothing in this lifetime or this earth that can match that, you know, that experience. So,
All right.
So there's nothing you can compare to this present time that we're going through, you know.
That's why the disciples were willing to give up everything they had.
On a dime.
Yep. Straightway left their nets, you know. Because they understood the promises are far off. Even Moses. Moses, as in a high position that Moses was in, you know, he left that for the riches and esteemed greater the riches of Yahweh Shai, as scripture says in Hebrews, man. You know? Kyle, you want me to grab something, though?
Let's get there. Hebrews 11.
Got you, brother. Let's go to Hebrews chapter 11 and to the part about Moses?
Con.
All right, Hebrews 11, starting at verse 24. It says, I'll start at 23, just because. It says, by faith, Hebrews 11 and 23, by faith, Moses, when he was born, was hid 3 months of his parents, because they saw he was a proper child, and they were not afraid of the king's commandment. By faith, Moses, when he was come to years, refused to be called the son of Pharaoh's daughter, choosing rather to suffer affliction with the people of the Most High than to enjoy the pleasures of sin for a season, esteeming the reproach of Mashiach greater riches than the treasures in Egypt, for he had respect unto the recompense of the reward. You know,
Con.
I could keep reading.
Yep.
Verse 27, by faith he forsook Egypt, not fearing the wrath of the king, for he endured as seeing him who is invisible. You see? So it took faith for Moses to do all those wondrous things that he did, man. You got to think about it. Pharaoh was the top power in the earth at that time, man. And you got to think about the Lord raised up Pharaoh so high. He was so proud. Pharaoh was like, who is the Most High? You know, so for Moses to have faith to, not fear the king and fear the Lord more, right, and do what Yahweh Shemashah required of him, man, that's a great faith. And we're doing something similar, man. Mm-hmm. This work that we're doing, we're telling Pharaoh, we're not fearing Pharaoh. We're not fearing these governors and rulers, man, because we are obeying Yahweh Shemashah rather than men. You know, to be out bold in the face of our enemies, man, day in and day out, week in and week out, putting our lives in jeopardy. This isn't a light work, man. Yahweh Shemashah is monitoring all these things, man. And if we endure, Lord willing, we will be rewarded. You know?
Yep. It's a great gift to be chosen to live this life, man. Because not anybody could just, I want to be Israelite today. Nah, the Lord has put the spirit upon somebody to serve him, man.
Mm-hmm. Because there's a lot more than just putting on a garment and reading the scriptures. You know, you have to know the scriptures. You have to apply them. You have to study. You know what I'm saying? You have to examine yourself.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Those scriptures, those same scriptures you're bringing out, are you applying them in your walk? You know, the scriptures say there's one that's profitable and teaches many, yet is unprofitable to himself, man. You know? Or it's like there's one that is wise and teaches many, yet is unprofitable to himself. Apostle Paul also said in 1 Corinthians 9 and 27, I keep under my body and bring into subjection, lest by any means when I preach to others, I myself should be a castaway, man. So this truth is a two-edged sword, you know?
It really is a lifestyle, man. You can't say one thing and then live a different way. You can't be a hypocrite among men. Be not a hypocrite in the sight of men.
That's right.
Let me jump to Hebrews chapter 12 and verse 5. And ye have forgotten the exhortation which speaketh unto you as children. My son, despise not the chastening of the Lord, nor faint when thou art rebuked of him. Right? This whole captivity is one big chastening of the Lord. And what is chastening for? Chastening is really for so you learn your lesson not to make the same mistake again, and to make you a better person so you don't make the same mistakes in the future as you're older. Train up a child in the way as you go, and when he's old, he shall not depart thereof, roughly paraphrasing. So this is what this chastening is for, is to make us perfect. Verse 6, for whom the Lord loveth, he chasteneth, and scourgeth every son whom he receiveth. Right? If you have two children, one's a constant fuck up, and one's, he is doing his best, he's excelling in everything he does in his field, you're going to be harder on the one that excels because you expect more of him. The Lord expects more of us as his chosen people, man. We are representations of Yahweh Shem Yahushua on this earth. Mm-hmm. So we can't be like hypocrites in the sight of men, and we can't be doing wild shit. And wild shit is what got us in captivity, man. Going off, not following the laws, statutes, commandments to the best of your ability. And this is why we're here. But once we learn our lesson, this is our final lesson, we're going to reign with the Yahweh Shai forever, man. Verse 7, if ye endure chastening, the Most High dealeth with you as sons. For what son is he whom the Father chasteneth not? Right? If you don't punish your children, you're raising them up to be spoiled, to be degenerates in society, because they believe they get away with whatever they want. Because you have to punish your children before the world does at the end of the day. And you don't want the world punishing your children. Right. Locked up in jail, doing 20 to life.
Yep, all because, he grew up without correction.
Yep.
A child left to himself will be willful.
Yep. Hebrews 12 and 8. But if ye be without chastisement, whereof all are partakers, then are ye bastards and not sons? Furthermore, we have had fathers of our flesh which corrected us, and we gave them reverence. shall we not much rather be in subjection unto the Father of spirits and live? Right. When you're younger, you don't understand why you were getting, really spanked. When you're older, you're like, damn, you appreciate it. It's now you give your parents reverence for doing what they did, right? So why not give the Lord much more reverence for, doing what he did?
Right. Exactly, man. Because it's bringing us forth fruit
Yep,
unto
yep,
righteousness. You know, our parents, they may have chastised us according to their own pleasure, as the scriptures say, for what they might have thought right from wrong, or, just because they might have liked something. But the Lord, he corrects us. He chastises us for our own benefit.
Yep.
That we may be righteous in his sight. Judith 8:25 says the Lord does scourge them that come near unto them to admonish them, man.
Because really, following the law is only beneficial for us. The Lord doesn't really gain anything from it. All right?
God.
He doesn't need us. Right?
God. That's right.
So even this chastisement, this is a beneficial thing, man. Because without the chastisement, me personally, speaking as a man, I probably would have never found Yahweh Shem Yahushai. I probably would have been, thinking that everything's okay. Well, I'm seeing the constant chastisement, not only of myself, but of our people. It made me wake up and say something's not right. Something is doing this. This is just like this is divine power doing this, man. Hebrews 12:9, just like Hebrews 12:10, for they verily for a few days chasten us after their own pleasure, but he for our profit, that we might be partakers of his holiness, spirit. Now no chastening for the present seemeth to be joyous, but grievous. Nevertheless, afterward it yieldeth much the peaceable fruit of righteousness unto them which are exercised thereby. Right. This chastisement is grievous now, but the fruit that is going to be harvested from this, we can't compare it to this. It's like it says in Romans 8:18. Right.
That's right. 2 Corinthians 4:17-18 as well, It just shows you that this is just all a part of the process, man. But the reward that Yahweh Shai has set up for us, man, it's gonna be worth it, man. You have more on that?
Yeah, now I got a quick pre to back you up.
Go ahead, Mullah.
This is the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 9. But as it is written, eye hath not seen, nor ear heard, neither have entered into the heart of man the things which the Most High hath prepared for them that love him. Right? The Lord prepared something so great, so excellent for us. Nobody has ever seen it before. You got to think about it. Adam was in a time of paradise, So Adam had a kingdom. So, but even his eyes haven't seen what's prepared for us, man.
God. Yep, that's right, bro. That's the spirit, because I was on Isaiah 64, which is the precept to that in the Old Testament. So that's the spirit, man. I have not seen nor ear heard, man. What Yahweh Shai set up for them that love him, man. And it's going to be truly glorious. It's going to be exceedingly glorious, man. You know what I'm saying? You got to think about it, because the earth and the whole creation is going to be at one with Yahweh Shai again. So the blessing of the Lord is going to be upon it. It's going to be prosperous. It's going to be righteous, man. The Lord said that he's going to make the place of his feet glorious. That's the earth. He said the heaven is my throne, the earth is my footstool. Yep. So he's going to make the place of his feet glorious, talking about the planet earth, man. You know what I'm saying? Because right now the whole earth is under the curse, man. Yep. Not just us as his people, but the whole creation groaneth, man. Okay? But the nation of Israel, once they get back into rulership, man, everything's going to be put back into its proper, rightful order, man. Okay? You have some more on that?
Oh, nah, Salah.
I got a precept.
You got it, brother.
This is Isaiah 54, starting at verse, I'll start at verse 3. For thou shalt break forth on the right hand and on the left, and thy seed shall inherit the Gentiles and make the desolate cities to be inhabited. So the Lord said we're going to break forth on the right hand and on the left, man. We're just going to spread out, man. Okay, brother was talking about earlier, spreading out. Yep. Hey, Yasharallah is going to spread out. We're going to be like a righteous cancer over all the earth and the galaxies, man. Okay, because there's going to be so many Israelites, man, that we're going to need to go branch off into other planets. And the earth is a very big planet. There's over 8 billion people on the earth right now, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so, and that's just the ones that were documented. There's still other people hidden somewhere in Amazons and forests that no man can reckon for. You know what I'm saying? And there's other places in the earth that no man has ever seen. So the earth is a very, very big landmass, and the earth is going to get even bigger in the kingdom of heaven, because right now the earth is not at her full state. But once the Israelites get back on top, the earth is going to be at its strength again, and also the people and the things they're in. And so the earth is going to be even bigger. Okay, because the heathen are going to have their own lands, and Israel going to have their own dominions and territories, man. But we're also going to branch out to those other planets, man. Okay? And it says what? Thy seed shall inherit the Gentiles. Meaning what? We're going to take over the heathen nations. We're going to take over their possessions, take over their lands. Okay? Have rule over their people, you know? And it says, and make the desolate cities to be inhabited, man. You know? Verse 4, fear not, for thou shalt not be ashamed, neither be thou confounded. For thou shalt not be put to shame. For thou shalt forget the shame of thy youth, talking about our old sins, our past. Okay? It says, and shall not remember the reproach of thy widowhood anymore. Right. You know, as a nation of Israel, you know, our nation is a widow right now, man. Because the Lord is not dealing with all of Israel right now, man. Okay? It says, for thy maker is thine husband. The Lord of hosts is his name. And thy Redeemer, the Holy One of Israel, the power of the whole earth shall he be called. Right, because the Lord is going to be reconciled unto Israel again. But it first starts with the elect. See, the Lord is, as it says in Jeremiah 15, he said, though Moses and Samuel stood before me, yet my mind cannot be towards his people. You know, cast them out of my sight. So the Lord is not dealing with all Israel right now. He's only dealing with the elect, man. Okay, and furthermore, I'll take it even a step further. The Most High is only dealing with the elect through Yahweh Shai. Okay, that's the order. You know what I'm saying? So we ain't getting to the Most High unless we go through Yahweh Shai. For all you dudes who don't want to acknowledge Yahweh Shai, man. Okay? But in the kingdom of heaven, once the nation of Israel is basically hit the Thanos finger snap, everything is reset and back in its order, then Israel will be at one with the Heavenly Father again. That's why it says in Revelation 21, how, you know, the Most High shall dwell with them and they shall be his people, roughly paraphrasing. Okay, let me keep reading. It says, verse 6, for the Lord hath called thee as a woman forsaken and grieved in spirit. That's that pain. And a wife of youth, when thou was refused, saith thy power. For a small moment have I forsaken thee, but with great mercies will I gather thee. In a little wrath I hid my face from thee for a moment, but with everlasting kindness will I have mercy on thee, saith the Lord thy Redeemer. For this is as the waters of Noah unto me. For as I have sworn that the waters of Noah should no more go over the earth, so have I sworn that I would not be wroth with thee, nor rebuke thee. For the mountains shall depart and the hills be removed, but my kindness shall not depart from thee, neither shall the covenant of my peace be removed, saith the Lord, that hath mercy on thee. O thou afflicted, tossed with tempest, and not comforted, behold, I will lay thy stones with fair colors, and lay thy foundations with sapphires. And I will make thy windows of agates, and thy gates of carbuncles, and all thy borders of pleasant stones. And all thy children shall be taught of the Lord, and great shall be the peace of thy children. Ooh. Man, see, this is just showing you the transition from pain to rain. You know? You wanted to say something, Mark?
Quick precept.
Come.
Psalms 128 and 1. Blessed is everyone that feareth the Lord, that walketh in his ways. For thou shalt eat the labor of thine hands. Happy shalt thou be, and it shall be well with thee. Thy wife shall be as a fruitful vine by the sides of thine house. Thy children like olive plants around about thy table. Right? Because, you know, the kingdom of heaven, there's going to be no more death, no more pain. So we're going to be multiplying like basically rabbits. Because a woman's child pain pain from childbirth, that's a curse. That curse is going to be lifted, man.
All right. That's right.
So we're going to multiply, you know, like basically babies' kids. We'll be fruitful vines in this place, man. Yep. That's why the brother said we're going to need other planets. All right, because we're never going to die either. Right. So we're just going to keep multiplying and multiplying. In my Father's house are many mansions. All right, this is what's coming. We can't imagine these things, you know, because our minds are limited in this flesh. But something great is coming. Right.
And see, the Lord did that too to kind of just give us the little, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. We know in part, we prophesy in part. The Lord's going to far exceed our expectations.
Yep. You see brothers be making the videos, having animations about the chariots and all. It's gonna be beyond that, man. And those
Yep.
videos be fire.
Yep.
So you had Psalms 128:4. Behold, shall the man be blessed that feareth the Lord. The Lord shall bless thee out of Zion, and thou shalt see the good of Jerusalem all the days of thy life. Yea, thou shalt see thy children's children in peace upon Israel. Right. Because under the curses, a lot of Jake die early too.
Yep.
So a lot of children, a lot of Jake don't get to see their grandfathers, their grandchildren, right? So we're gonna see our entire bloodline. Lord won't put that number. We're part of the elect, and Israel is reborn through us. But we're gonna see our entire bloodline. All right, it's gonna be our Yahpa thing, man.
All right, this is Isaiah 65:16 to back you up. That he who blesseth himself in the earth shall bless himself in the power of truth. And he that sweareth in the earth shall swear by the power of truth, because the former troubles are forgotten, and because they are hid from mine eyes. For behold, I create new heavens and a new earth, and the former shall not be remembered, nor come into mind. Right, so we're not going to be worried about this place, man. We're not going to give a damn about Babylon.
Yep,
we already don't, but as much, how much more in the kingdom, It's not even going to come to our mind. Like, of course, we're going to be able to remember the things, but it's like, it's going to be like when you move on to something better, you ain't, like, let's say,
facts.
you know what I'm saying? You had a hoopty, and now you driving a Lambo. You're not thinking about that hoopty. You might have been appreciative for it, but it's not coming into your mind, man. All right? And it says, man, we're going to go from hoopties to Lambos to chariots, man. You know what I'm saying? So-called UFOs, man. All right? And it says, verse 18, Isaiah 65:18, but be ye glad and rejoice forever in that which I create. For behold, I create Jerusalem a rejoicing, and her people a joy. Hey, call him Bashem Shai. Hey, man. It's thundering outside. It says, and I will rejoice in Jerusalem and joy in my people, and the voice of weeping shall be no more heard in her, nor the voice of crying from pain to rain. There shall be no more thence an infant of days, nor an old man that hath not filled his days. For the child shall die 100 years old, but the sinner being 100 years old shall be accursed. Right, so in the kingdom of heaven, basically, a child is going to be like, 100-year-old person is going to be likened to a child in the kingdom of heaven. The Lord says that the days of his people will be the days of a tree, man. If you do the research, man, there's some trees that can survive for thousands of years, man. But it says, the sinner being 100 years old shall be accursed, man. So on this side, you make it to 100 in Babylon, you're considered blessed. But in the kingdom, if you die at 100, that'd be a curse unto you, man, because we're going to live that long, It says, and they shall build houses and inhabit them, and they shall plant vineyards and eat the fruit of them. Meaning what? The Lord's going to take the curses off of us, man. Because it was in the curses that we would build a house and another man inhabit. We would plant the vineyard and another one will reap the fruits. All right, it says, they shall not build and another inhabit. They shall not plant and another eat. For as the days of a tree are the days of my people, and mine elect shall long enjoy the work of their hands.
Yep.
That's the point on that right there, Ooh, man. It's like, can I keep reading, brother? Verse 23, it says, they shall not labor in vain, nor bring forth for trouble, for they are the seed of the blessed of the Lord, and their offspring with them, man. And it shall come to pass that before they call, I will answer. And while they are yet speaking, I will hear. And that's how much on the level we're going to be with the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son. We're going to be on such tight connection with the Lord that before we even pray to the Lord going to answer our prayers.
Yep.
Before we even be like, man, a bottle of water. Oh, the Wadi Abashim Shai. You know what I'm saying? And it's verse 25. I wanted to bring this out because earlier the brother and I, we were watching a documentary about animals, right? And we were talking about this. Verse 25, Isaiah 65:25, the wolf and the lamb shall feed together, and the lion shall eat straw like the bullock, and death shall be the serpent's meat. They shall not hurt nor destroy in all my holy mountains, saith the Lord, man. That's the spirit. Because we were talking about this earlier, man. So this is what it's going to be like in the kingdom of heaven. Not only are we going to go from pain to rain, but the animals too. Animals not going to have to worry about, getting preyed on from other predators, and they're not going to have to, and certain abominable foods that people eat on this side, they're not going to have to worry about being abominable foods in the kingdom of heaven. And anyone caught eating abominable foods in the kingdom of heaven, they're going to get put to death, man. Okay? And that's the way it's finna go,
God. I got a quick free.
It's
not really quick, but
it's called 12. It's called 12.
This is the book of First Esdras, chapter 5. I'm gonna start at verse
Wherever your spirit is,
56. And in the second year and the second month after his coming to the temple of the Most High at Jerusalem began Zerubbabel, the son of Salathiel, and Joshua, the son of Josedek, and their brethren, and the priests and the Levites, and all they that were come unto Jerusalem out of the captivity. Now this is talking about the building of the second temple, but you could line this up because we're building a spiritual third temple now, man. We are the house that builds a temple, right? Because the Lord dwells within us. Man. We are the temple of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai.
you are the Most High's husbandry. You are the
Yep.
Most High's building.
Yep. So again, once this temple is built, we're gonna celebrate just like they did when they built the second one.
Yep.
All right. Verse 57, and they laid the foundation of the house of the Most High in the first day of the second month, in the second year after they were come to Jewry and Jerusalem. Right? I'm gonna jump down to 59. And the priests stood arrayed in their vestments, with their musical instruments and trumpets, and the Levites, the son of Asaph, had cymbals, singing songs of thanksgiving and praising the Lord, according as David, the king of Israel, had ordained. And they sung with loud voices to the praise of the Lord, because of his mercy and glory is forever in all Israel. Right? So it's in all Israel. It's in all nations, man. Salvation isn't for everybody because all nations aren't going through what Jake is going through right now, man. Verse 62. And all the people sounded trumpets and shouted with a loud voice, singing songs of thanksgiving unto the Lord for the rearing up of the house of the Lord. Also of the priests and Levites and the chief of their families, the ancients who had seen the former house came to the building of this with weeping and great crying. But many with trumpets and joy shouted with loud voice, insomuch that the trumpets might not be heard for the weeping of the people. Yet the multitude sounded marvelously, so that it was heard afar off. Right? The people were crying with so much joy that it overtook the sound of trumpets, man. So how much more are we gonna celebrate when we, receive Yahweh Shai's kingdom, man? All right.
It was twofold, and that's the thing too, because even in that circumstance, and that story goes to show from pain to reign, because there was a lot of pain going into the fact that the temple got destroyed, they got put into the Babylonian captivity, and then you even had some elders that seen the old temple of what it looked like, because when they built the first temple, man, it was very glorious.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It took 7 years to build that temple, man. Okay? And then, when they seen the second temple being rebuilt, it's funny because they thought about the old temple, how glorious it was in comparison to the second one, but they were happy because the second one was glorious. So the elders that seen the old temple, they were crying because they were sorrowful. But it's going to be the opposite for us in the kingdom. We're going to look at it like, man, that first temple and the second temple ain't got nothing on this third one. Because what did the Lord say? The glory of the latter house shall be greater than the beginning.
That's the spirit. That's what I was getting.
Hey, calling by Shemel Shai, man. And we're not going to be weeping.
Yeah.
We're not going to be weeping because you had some who are weeping for joy and you had some who are weeping for sorrow, man. But the Lord's going to take away all that pain. And as we read in Isaiah 65, the voice of crying shall be heard no more in us, man. We're gonna have times in the kingdom where we'll be quote unquote sad and we'll still be able to have the ability to cry, but we're still gonna have peace. The times where we will cry or be sad in the kingdom is like those certain high holy days when we're supposed to mourn before the Lord. Like when we look upon Yahweh Shai, whom they have pierced, man. As it says in Zechariah 12:10. Okay, there's going to be a new high holy day in the kingdom where Yahweh Shai will show his body and all Israel will see Yahweh Shai's crucified body and mourn and weep before him, man. All the families apart, everybody's going to basically have to work out their own salvation per se and mourn for the Lord, because he died for each and every last one of us as the nation of Israel is concerned. It's like it.
He'll be the reason why we inherit the kingdom in the first place. All right, so we're going to see that and appreciate that too, man.
That's right.
We're going to appreciate the sacrifice. This is the book of Haggai, chapter 2 and 9. The glory of this latter house shall be greater than of the former.
Right.
Saith the Lord Yahweh of hosts. And in this place will I give peace, saith the Lord Yahweh power of hosts.
Spirit.
In this house, we will finally have peace, man. Because captivity is going to end. This is our 7th and final captivity, man. And we're at the finish line. The C-HIP is about to be mandated. Economic collapse. World War III. You know, lockdowns. Parts of
Pestilence.
India is locked down already right now.
Oh yeah, yeah, man.
They said that nigga Biden was on a plane that had to get refueled mid-air because it's heading to a doomsday bunker where he has control of nuclear weapons there. Lord willing, Lord put the spirit on that nigga to push a button. Set this bitch off.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. But but the scripture say what? Till the servants be sealed. You know? So we'll know, hey, when the missiles hit, man, it's over with, man. When that missile gets striked off or strucken off, hey, it's over with for Babylon. There will be no turning back. The Lord will not call back his plagues, man. You know, but the Lord is calling back our captivity, though. You know, I got a precept. Unless you got something.
Nah, you got it, brother.
This is Deuteronomy 30, starting at verse 1. And it shall come to pass when all these things are come upon thee, the blessing and the curse which I have set before thee, and thou shalt call them to mind among all the nations whither the Lord thy power hath driven thee. Going back to Baruch, the 2nd chapter. And shall return unto the Lord thy power, and shall obey his voice according to all that I command thee this day. Thou and thy children with all thine heart and with all thy soul, that then the Lord thy power will turn thy captivity and have compassion upon thee, and will return and gather thee from all the nations whither the Lord thy power have scattered thee. And if any of thine be driven out unto the utmost parts of the heaven, from thence will the Lord thy power gather thee, and from thence will he fetch thee. And the Lord thy power will bring thee into the land which thy fathers possessed, and thou shalt possess it, and he will do thee good, and multiply thee above thy fathers. And the Lord thy power will circumcise thine heart and the heart of thy seed, to love the Lord thy power with all thine heart and with all thy soul, that thou mayest live. And how is he going to do that? By giving us new bodies. Because this flesh is subject to vanity. No matter how hard you try, this flesh eventually is going to go off, man. It's just the way it's programmed. That's why we needed Yahweh Shai. But when we get the new bodies, the Lord's going to write his laws, statutes, commandments in our inward parts, meaning what? He's going to change our genetic makeup to make us only do righteousness. Okay? Verse 7, and the Lord thy power will put all these curses upon thine enemies and on them that hate thee, which persecuted thee. And thou shalt return and obey the voice of the Lord, and do all his commandments which I command thee this day. And the Lord thy power will make thee plenteous in every work of thine hand, in the fruit of thy body, and in the fruit of thy cattle, and in the fruit of thy land for good. For the Lord Yahweh Bashem Shai will again rejoice over thee for good, as he rejoiced over thy fathers, man. You see? So we're going to go from that pain to rain, man. You know?
I'm going to jump over to the book of Zephaniah, chapter 3, starting at verse 19. Behold, at that time I will undo all that afflict thee, and I will save her that halted, and gather her that was driven out, and I will get them praise and fame in every land where they have been put to shame. Ooh. Right? We were driven out of our land, our homeland. We were kicked out of the house because we were wicked. And now since we're kicked out of our house, we're living in everybody else's house, and they're treating us poorly. We're being put to shame, put on the bottom of society. I mean, I was watching a clip of a Fox News piece about the so-called immigrants coming from Mexico to Babylon, and they were showing Issacharites coming out the sewers, man. I was like, yo, why you making them look bad like that, man? I was like, they made them seem like roaches and stuff invading our house, man. But we're being put to shame out here, man. This is our people, man. But, you know, they'll never portray themselves like that, even though that's what they did. They came out of the caves, man. Crawled out of caves, man. But they'll never make themselves look bad like that, right. or claim their true heritage, man. Yeah. But since we've been put to shame here, we're also gonna have praise, eternal praise. You know, we're gonna be the new celebrities in the kingdom of heaven. Lord willing, we're part of that number.
That's right.
You know, people are gonna look at us and be like, "Yo, those are those men that was thugging it out in Babylon, man. They told us to get right, but we didn't listen." This is why we're gonna have praise, and 2/3 are gonna have everlasting shame and contempt. Because they knew the ways of righteousness and still went off, man. They knew that they were Israelites. They didn't care, man. They didn't have respect to the promise, you know. Zephaniah 3:20. At that time will I bring you again, even in that time that I gather you, for I will make you a name and a praise among all the people of the earth. All right. Again, that proves that, you know, he's only talking about one nation among all the people on the earth. Why is he only exalting one nation above everybody else, man? Because that's the chosen nation, man. When I turn back your captivity before your eyes, saith the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, man.
Oh, my sure.
Yeah, we're watching our captivity turn before our eyes because we're watching Babylon crumble before our eyes too, man.
Yep.
We're watching men rise up, you know, and put off the ways of Babylonians, you know, watching the fall of the enemy, man.
Yep.
This is one of the greatest pleasures you can have is watching the fall of your enemy, man.
Absolutely. What's another sign showing Babylon is at its end? The fact that, you know, we could look Esau in the face and tell him, you going, man. There was once a time where there was a big spell over a lot of our people.
Yep.
You know, including myself. I'm sure the brother can relate, you know, where you looked at Esau, you thought he was somebody special.
Yep.
You thought he was somebody to be like. You know what I'm saying? You had reverence for Esau, man. You wouldn't walk on the same side of the street as Esau. You wouldn't look Esau in his eyes. You're not going to drink at the same water fountain he's drinking. You know what I'm saying? But now we looking at Esau like, bitch, you need to wait your turn to walk on this side of the street. Bitch, don't look me in my eyes. You know what I'm saying? Bitch, don't drink on this water fountain until I get my drink type shit, you know? And we're doing that in the land of our captivity, man. Esau is knowing that his grip is slipping over us as a nation of Yasharallah, man. Nowadays, sometimes when I get around an Edomite, depending on how I'm feeling that day, I won't even say shit to them. And they'll look at me, and I can tell they want to talk to me, or they might even talk to me, but I'll just hit them with the... I'll just be through with them, man. But in the past, hey, boy, look at me when I'm talking to you, boy. Respond to me, boy. But now it's the other way around. Now you got brothers calling Esau boy. Telling him he's going into slavery, man. And we have the scriptures to back it up. From pain to rain, man. You know? Real spill. Real spill.
We're using the word of the Lord, you know, as backup, man. And they can't say nothing against it. You know, it is so powerful, man. The one of y'all watching y'all shirt, man. We have access to the greatest weapon ever created, man. Esau, you don't think he's bad and bold with his weapons and his sword, man. So all that is nothing compared to the word of the Lord. Wait, let me get a quick precept real quick.
And what the Lord said, the gates of hell shall not prevail against it, man. You know, the Lord made us a brazen wall. Lord willing, we be those men. And that's the spirit, though, because even when you said sword, I was in Ezekiel 39, and I seen the word sword there, too, man. I get it after your precept, though, Lord willing. You know, but this just goes to show you that we are at the end, man. And when you think about it, it's like all the signs are pointing to it. Even people in the world who aren't in tune with the spirit, they can see we're at the end, man. It's getting obvious, more and more obvious. You know, things are becoming more and more bogus and more crazy, man. Yesterday I was out, and there was helicopter cars just all over the place, man. Ambulance here, cops there, ambulance there, cops here, sirens there, man. You know what I'm saying? Hey, expect to see and hear more and more of that as we get into these more evil times, man.
Man, this Eve I work with, her husband is a law enforcement officer. She was like, her husband was out late last night because there was 2 homicides in one night and something else. I was like, damn it, you know, in one city or one night, man. It's wild, man. People are getting bugged the fuck out and more, man.
Yep. Some spirits is getting active.
Yep.
For real. And that car crash demon is out there crazy too. You know what I'm saying? I've been seeing a lot more car accidents lately, man. You know? Judgment of the Lord. Judgment of the Lord, man. What you got, brother?
Jeremiah chapter 5, verse 14. Wherefore thus saith the Lord Yahweh, power of hosts, because ye speak this word, behold, I will make my words in thy mouth. I will make my words in thy mouth fire, and this people wood, and it shall devour them. All right, Hebrews 4:12. The word of the Lord is sharper than any two-edged sword, man. It cuts, and it really cuts people's spirit. And you can't say nothing. If you say something against this, you're going against Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, and you won't win. And then people in the world, they have a certain zeal towards the Lord. It might not be according to knowledge, but a lot of people will say, how they love God or pray to Jesus or something like that. They have some sort of zeal. Whereas so when you bring out the Bible and it cuts them, they really feel cut in the spirit. That's why they buck up and get angry, because they can't rebuttal it any other way. So they have to go another option, man. This is a powerful weapon right here. Just like it said in the book of Eli. Where it's not a book, it's a weapon. This is really a weapon, man. And it's a weapon of mass destruction, because this is the weapon that's going to be used to start the destruction of America, man. this weapon right here is going to cause 200 million nuclear missiles to devour this land, man. Of course, the laser beam fire from the chariots as well, too, man.
That's right. That's right, man. Hey, the scriptures is a snare unto those who are not worthy. Ultimately, you know what I'm saying? What scripture say? That which their welfare, let it be made a trap, man. So the scriptures is for the welfare of our people, for those who believe in it. As it says, the word, have they not heard? Right? So the word preached was unto 2/3 of our people was also preached unto us. But the word preached did not profit them. Lord willing, we be a part of the 1/3, the elect, because the word preached unto them that they heard was not mixed with faith. They didn't hear it with faith, man. But the Lord has given us the heart and the ears to hear and the eyes to see with faith, man. So that's why it's profitable to us, man. You see? Because anybody could open up the scriptures and read it. But do you have the spirit to be in you to read these scriptures and to break it down and to teach it and to apply it, so on and so forth, man? Okay? You know, it's a certain spiritual access code Yahweh has to give you with these words. It's like in the movies when them aliens leave a gun behind. They get able to pick the gun up and they don't even know how to work it. Till you find that one person who knows how to work the alien's gun, and that's the one person who's like, oh damn, he's worthy, man.
And then sometimes a human will pick up the gun and blow their own arms off, man, because they didn't know how to use it, man.
Yeah, that's right, and that's the scriptures for you. It's a two-edged sword. You got to know how to swing that sword, you know, because Brother Masha, you know what I'm saying, know what I'm talking about. You got to know how to swing that sword, because as just as much as you swing it at the next man, if you don't swing it back properly, it could cut you too, man. All right. I got a precept. This is Ezekiel 39, starting at verse 21. It says, "And I will set my glory among the heathen, and all the heathen shall see my judgment that I have executed, and my hand that I have laid upon them, so that the house of Israel shall know that I am the Lord their power from that day and forward. And the heathen shall know that the house of Israel went into captivity for their iniquity, because they trespassed against me. Therefore hid I my face from them, and gave them into the hand of their enemies. So fell they all by the sword. According to their uncleanness and according to their transgressions have I done unto them, and hid my face from them." You see, like it says in Isaiah 59, man, the Lord's hand is not shortened that it cannot save, his ear is not heavy that it cannot hear. But your sins and your iniquities have hid the Lord's face from you, man. Okay? So because we went off, that's what made the Lord forsake us. Okay? Verse 25. It says, "Therefore thus saith the Lord power, now will I bring again the captivity of Jacob, and have mercy upon the whole house of Israel, and will be jealous for my holy name. After that they have borne their shame and all their trespasses, whereby they have trespassed against me, when they dwelt safely in their land, and none made them afraid. When I have brought them again from the people, and gathered them out of their enemies' lands, and have sanctified them in the sight of many nations. Then shall they know that I am the Lord their power, which caused them to be led into captivity among the heathen, but I have gathered them unto their own land, and have left none of them any more there. Neither will I hide my face any more from them, for I have poured out my spirit upon the house of Israel, saith the Lord power." That's right. So that's another scripture, what? Going from pain to rain, man. You know what I'm saying? And really, you know, it's going to be a beautiful thing, man. There's so much more that Yahweh Shai has in store for us. Lord willing, will be a part of that number, man. We just have to really buckle down and lock in, man, because I've been peeping that complacency demon creeping around the corner, and you know what I'm saying, all that other stuff, but we just got to stay focused. You know, we can't get caught up with the affairs and the cares of this world so that we become unfruitful, man. We have to stay locked into the spirit. Set our affections on things above, man. Because right now our life is here with Yahweh Shai, man. But when Yahweh Shai comes and returns, we're going to be able to be glorified with him, man. But we have to put this life on the back burner, man. You know, we have to embrace the pain that we're going through. Because a lot of Jake, they don't want to embrace the pain. That's why they want to sell out and get a little bit crumbs from Esau's table. Meanwhile, them Jakes are still going through the curses. You
being even more pain than you were in before.
Exactly. Man. You just a nigga who going through the curses with a Rolls Royce truck. That's all. Still going through the curses, man. You know what I'm saying? Like the rest of us. Because you can't escape the judgment of the Lord, man. See, Jake be trying to take the easy way out and sell out to Esau, man, thinking that that's going to help them. But Esau knows you're under the curses too, man. Okay? And he wants you to be there. But the way that we get out of that, per se, or the way that, we work our way out of it. The true way to wiggle your way out of the curses is to obey the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That's the true way. But these curses are going to be upon us till we get out of this place, man. Ultimately, but the Lord is slowly but surely turning back our captivity.
And that's why a beautiful thing about the kingdom too is that since we're gonna have new bodies and the Lord written in our inward parts, we're never gonna go off again. So we're never gonna have to be. There'll never be a reason for us to go into captivity again. There'll never be a reason for chastisement again, man. We're gonna live at peace. We're gonna still fear the Lord, but it's not gonna be a fear as in like, oh man, we're gonna die. Things gonna die. All that is gonna be done away with, man.
That's right. You want me to grab something for you?
A quick backing up a point you brought out earlier about the point you were bringing out about the alien gun. 2 Peter 3:15. You can stop at 16.
Got you.
Okay.
2 Peter 3. And 15. 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 15. An account that the long suffering of our Lord is salvation, even as our beloved brother Paul also, according to the wisdom given unto him, hath written unto you. You want me to keep going? As also in all his epistles, speaking in them of these things, in which are some things hard to be understood, which they that are unlearned and unstable wrest, which is spelled W-R-E-S-T, which means to wrestle or to twist, as they do also the other scriptures unto their own destruction.
It's like the brother was saying, anybody could pick up the Bible and read it, but if you don't have the spirit to understand it and teach it properly, right, it's ultimately for your own destruction, man.
God.
The Lord blinded people he didn't want. The Lord blinded the mass majority of people. And this is why, again, it's an honor and glory to be chosen to have a piece of the spirit, man, because, this is so rare. Yo, brother Bar be saying this a lot, Sometimes you go walk into a super Walmart and there'll be hundreds of other people in there. And it's like, damn, you might be the only person in there that fears Yahweh Shem Yahushai, man. That's how rare it is, man. Mm-hmm. You could be among a multitude of thousands, man. You could be the only one serving the Lord in truth and sincerity, man.
Yep.
Because a lot of people will know that they're Israelites. Or are they serving the Lord? Are they, do they fear the Lord at the end of the day?
Yep. That's right. Because even those who know they're Israelites, quote unquote, call themselves teaching the word, a lot of them ain't going to make it.
Yep.
Lord willing, we make it. You know what I'm saying? Lord willing, those who are sincere make it. You know what I'm saying? But the scriptures speak about how there's many vain and unruly talkers, especially they of the circumcision.
Yep.
Meaning they know they're Israelites, man. So it goes to show you, not everyone that calls upon him, Lord, Lord, shall enter to the kingdom of heaven. But those who are chosen to do the will of the Father, those are the ones that are going to enter into the kingdom of heaven, man. This truth is deadly serious, man. Okay? You got anything else, Malak?
Oh, no, that's it on that.
I had one last pre. This is just backing you up. Romans 11:7. What then? Israel hath not obtained that which he seeketh for, but the election have obtained it, and the rest were blinded. According as it is written, the Most High hath given them the spirit of slumber, eyes that they should not see, and ears that they should not hear unto this day. And David said, let their table be made a snare, and a trap, and a stumbling block, and a recompense unto them. Let their eyes be darkened that they may not see, and bow down their back always. You see? So it says what? Let their table be made a snare and a trap, and a stumbling block, and a recompense unto them, man. So this table is the scriptures. It's being made a snare unto these people, man. And a trap and a recompense.
Yep.
Why? Because they're transgressing against it, man. So it's gonna catch you by the heel like a jinn, man. All right, but if you apply it, then the Lord's gonna give you the spirit to get over those stumbling blocks and, to be protected, man. Because you're applying the scriptures. That's why the Lord said, I set before you this day life and death, blessing and cursing. Choose life that ye may live and your seed after you, man. Mm-hmm. And how do we choose life? By choosing the ways of righteousness, man. Okay? But we gone through the pain because we didn't suffer the Lord to reign. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But now, the fact that we're submitting ourselves to Yahweh Shem Shai, now the Lord is taking the pain off of us and transitioning us and grooming us to be rulers and kings, man. As actually, let me get that real quick in Revelation, the 5th chapter, man. Because Yahweh Shai went through pain in order to reign, and we are doing likewise. Revelation 5, and I'll start at verse 6. And I beheld, and lo, in the midst of the throne and of the four beasts, and in the midst of the elders, stood a lamb, as it had been slain, having 7 horns and 7 eyes, which are the 7 spirits of the Most High, sent forth into all the earth. That lamb that had been slain is Yahweh Shai. All right, John says that he's the Lamb of the Most High. It says, having 7 horns and 7 eyes, 7 meaning completion. So a horn represents power. He had the completion of power. He says 7 eyes, which represents his omniscience. All right, so Yahweh Shai, he knows everything. He sees everything in the spirit, man. Okay, what the Father have revealed unto him. You know, so that's basically what he had omnipotent power, man. You know, completion of power. It says, and he came and took the book out of the right hand of him that sat upon the throne, meaning he took the scriptures out of the hand of the Most High. And when he had taken the book, the 4 beasts and the 24 elders fell down before the Lamb, having every one of them harps and golden vials full of odors, which are the prayers of the saints. So the 4 beasts represent the 4 archangels, you know what I'm saying? And then it says the 24 elders, you know, those elders, those elderly angels up in heaven, they all fell down before Yahweh Shai. It says they had the harps and the incense, okay, with the odors, which are the prayers of the saints. Our prayers are as incense, man. You know, Spirit got to say that we burning incense right now, man. They ain't burning incense in a minute either, you know. But our prayers are likened unto incense, man, okay? So we burning incense every day, Lord willing. Verse 9, it says, and they sung a new song saying, and it says also in Psalms, let my prayer be unto thee as incense, you know. It says, and they sung a new song saying, thou art worthy to take the book and to open the seals thereof, for thou wast slain and hast redeemed us to the Most High by thy blood out of every kindred and tongue and people and nation, and has made us unto our power kings and priests, and we shall reign on the earth, man. Woo, from pain to reign, literally, man. You know, and that's going to be an everlasting dominion, man, as it says in the book of Daniel and various other scriptures, you know. So you got anything else, Malak?
Quick pre.
Come on.
Psalms 2 and 8. Ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thine inheritance, and the uttermost parts of the earth for thy possession. All right? That means we're going to own people, other nations, heathens, Gentiles of the other nations. We're going to own them. We're going to possess them, and the uttermost parts of the earth. That's rulership, man. I remember Apostle Gabar broke down like how Abraham was blessed because he owned slaves, man. That's a position of power, a position of rulership, man. And we're going to put every other nation into captivity, man. This is under Yahweh Shem Yahushai, of course, but this is a power that's had never been done before. This is what Esau Edom is trying to accomplish now. This is what the wicked elite are trying to accomplish now. They're trying to put every nation under him, under subjection to him, a new world order. But the only new world order that's going to be set on this planet Earth is Yahweh Shem Yahushai, is a new world order, man. And it's literally going to be a new world because we're going to be a new people, man. Because we're going to have our new bodies, man. Scripture talks about how he's seen a new earth and a new heaven descend. All right? That's us, man. Everything's going to be brand new. So we still can't imagine it, man.
Yep.
I can't wait, man.
That's right, brother. That's right. So it ain't going to be like how it is now, man.
Mm-hmm.
You know, things are going to be completely different. You know what I'm saying? And that pain is going to be long gone, man. You know? You got anything else, Doc?
That's it, Doc.
All right. Well, hey, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying, man. We're going to go ahead and close out. You can close out, brother.
You know, I want to give all honor and glory to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Kakadash.
Double honors to the elders and the apostles of great millstone that rule well. And peace and salutations to the Akim and the Aqua that's listening in truth and sincerity. You know, to you we say Shalom. The Lord one, this lesson was edifying to the flock of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai. Shalom.
Shalom. Baba Kwame Yasharala.